Welcome to Username Nerd News. My name is Mike Hewitt, and we are here at Old Cowtown Museum in Wichita, Kansas for SteamPunk Day. And this place is amazing. The cosplay was just incredible. Just so much was happening. They had live duels. If you missed it this year, definitely come out next year. But you don't even have to wait that long. This place is opened up every day of the year. Even when it snows is what they've told me, because the photographers come out because this place is gorgeous. You have to check it out. Welcome to another Username Nerd News. My name is Mike Hewitt, and I'm with Gregory Hunt from Old Cowtown Museum in Wichita, Kansas. And we're here with SteamPunk Day. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a long day.
It has definitely been a long day. So out here, it's not really a con. But although you have, you still have cosplay and vendors and events and panels, but it's more of an event, different than a con. Can you tell us a little bit about SteamPunk Day here?
Yes, at Cowtown, most of our events are just a one-day thing. We don't really have the hotel or the facilities to put people up for 3 days at a stretch or fill a full weekend. But we do have some perks. We've got 40 acres. It's a living history museum. It allows us a chance to step outside and fire cannons and Gatling guns. We can work with we're able to do things that you can't really do in a hotel.
Well, yeah, it's like, I feel like sometimes at cons you're just walking from booth to booth and it's all vendors. Well, here, man, it is an event. You guys are shooting off cannons and Gatling guns. I mean, this thing is amazing. So tell us some of the events that happen here. I was about to say something, but I'll let you go ahead and tell us, because it's so cool here.
Well, we have some of our favorites are Age of the Gunfighter, and we have gunfighter groups come in from all over, and they will do their skits and performances all day long. We have cattle drives where we bring in drovers and cattle and run them through town. We've Halloween, Christmas. We have the standard events there. There's always something going on here. We just try to capitalize on what we're able to do well, and some of the things that we can't do, like put people up for the night, not so much.
Right. And there's fencing and everything else. So now, you have one SteamPunk Day, but that is no worry, because unlike cons, you're open all year round?
Yes.
All year round, even
all
in the winter.
Round,
wow. Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about that? So if somebody misses SteamPunk Day, they could wait till next year, or they could just come here and enjoy the town itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you miss SteamPunk Day, there's still plenty of gears and equipment from the era, which is part of what got me into steampunk in the first place. I'm surrounded by that type of technology.
And so now, how many years have you been doing SteamPunk Day here?
I think 5 or 6, depends on how you count it, but yeah, it's at least 4 or 5.
Well, it's just amazing. I mean, I brought my kids out. My kids loved it. We don't necessarily cosplay a lot, but my wife just went crazy. She loved it. Steampunk is something that will bring your inner child out, you know?
It does. And on the way to the event, if you're dressed as the Hulk, you're not going to get into a 7-Eleven without wearing a shirt.
Right.
If you go steampunk, one of the reasons I like it, A, I already had most of the outfit working in this museum, but B, man, you can't help but look snazzy when you're standing in line at Dillon's at the end of the day. So.
And when you come out, you don't actually have to be in steampunk. It's fun to be in steampunk, but just like everything else. I saw tons of people here that were not in steampunk, so don't feel pressured to come out at all.
No, come out and enjoy some of the other people, get some ideas. You know, there's from the clothes to the equipment, there's weaponry, there's music and song and dance. You know, if any of those things, something's got to appeal to somebody.
Yeah.
And then you can run with that. You can get some ideas out here.
Yes.
Very few rules on steampunk. If you want to come out and at least give it a try, put on some goggles and.
I know. I don't know if you noticed. I am Steampunk Riddler. Yeah, and I have a bowler hat somewhere.
Yes, and I saw you with your cane.
I have a cane too. Yep. And I actually saw a Daredevil. So you can combine both worlds. It's pretty interesting.
For the cosplay element, yeah, I've seen some very clever stuff. Some very clever crossover.
So tell us a little bit about Old Cowtown, the history of it itself.
Okay, the actual museum started. They were interesting story. They're tearing down a building downtown. Mostly sheetrock and whatnot. They started tearing into timbers and found a timber-framed log cabin. As it turns out, it was the Munger house that had been added onto until it was swallowed up into a larger building. When they realized that was the house, they then realized that this was actually the first house built in this area by Darius Munger before Wichita was even a town. So rather than continue tearing it down, they brought it here, which at the time was a park, and dumped it off just because they couldn't bring it themselves to tear it down. So.
Yeah, the interesting part is when we came, we've never been, and I thought I was going to be in this town in the middle of nowhere, but we were right kind of in the heart. But then when you're even here, you feel like not in the heart of Wichita. It's a very odd feeling
I know what
to
you're talking
be.
About. It's smack in the middle of Wichita.
Yeah, I was like, this can't be it. We're right in the middle, and then we get in here, and then I'm like, I would not have known I was in a city at all.
Right, and we even have the added bonus of you've got a little city here with some shops and stuff, and then you can walk down a country road to the farmhouse out in the middle of the end of our field. And yeah, it feels as though you've just left town to go to a farmhouse, and yet you're still smack dab in the middle of Wichita.
So now that I have you here, I have to ask you, there was the cannon duel. How did that cannon, I mean, it looked like it shot some people down, but they got up afterwards. How did that work? I mean, there's obviously not real cannonballs in there, but it looked like it was.
Civil War reenactors. It's just outside of steampunk's time frame, but close enough. So I bring them in. They are well schooled in running blanks through cannons, taking a hit, falling down. So yeah, I was able to call them up on the phone and see if they'd come out for Steampunk Day, and they said yes. I always feel as though this is like one of those alternate dimensions, because ordinarily Greg, myself, shouldn't be able to call somebody up and have them bring a cannon or a Gatling gun or a machine gun to work and them say okay and then it happens.
Right.
So this is most definitely the brightest of all timelines for myself.
Yes, very much so. I mean, yeah, it looked, man, and I was like, okay, these cans are going off, but man, they really went off. It felt real, and like the first time I was holding the camera, and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, I gotta set that camera up, and because I jerk so much, the first camera, whatever. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are definitely spectacular, even in the best IMAX theater, and I love me some IMAX theater, but yeah,
up close. I mean, my kids were like, oh, that's cool, and then boom, they just like jerked back, and they were like, and then they both kind of looked at this jerk, and they're like, I like that. I'm like, that's my kids. That's my kids.
Awesome. So glad to be able to share that with them, because it's one of my favorites as well.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come out. If somebody wants to come out, how can they get a hold of you? Do you have a website and your hours? Go ahead and tell us how people can get out here.
It is, generally speaking, 10 in the morning to 5 in the evening, about every day of the week. I think we're open about every day of the week. In the wintertime, we cut it down a day or two, give us a day off from time to time.
I'm assuming when it snows.
No, snow brings out the photographers,
That's awesome.
And we got a couple of sleighs. With any luck, we'll be able to hitch them to a horse.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be. We have livestock, so somebody's always got to be here. So might as well let the more intrepid of visitors wander down onto grounds. But it's give or take $7, depending on how old you are and what sort of military service you've seen.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come out.
It's my pleasure.
If you've got to get out here, definitely SteamPunk Day, but don't let that stop you. Come out any day of the year. You've got to check this place out. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Marcible, the musical automaton, and I'm here at SteamPunk Day at the old Cowtown Museum in Wichita, Kansas. We're having a grand old time. We've had panels, we've seen lots of really cool costumes, and we're here selling merchandise at the vending booth.
Okay, stop. Don't go to the next YouTube video or channel or skip or don't do anything. Real quick, 5 seconds. We have 3 different channels. Please subscribe to them. Username Nerd News, username Nerd Comics, username Nerd Games. We have separated them out into 3 ones. Choose all of them or just one to subscribe to. You'd love it. I promise you, we'll give you great content. It'll show up in your feed. You'll love it. Just real quick click. It doesn't take but a few seconds. You'd be awesome. Thank you.